Hello and welcome to the Oak and Lamb YouTube channel. My name is Becca Oaks. I'm an owner and craft educator here at Oak and Lamb. With the increased interest in UV resin in the craft world, we're getting lots of questions about what lights to use, what our favorite resins are, and all sorts of things like that. We have so many videos on resin. UV resin is one of our favorite mediums to work with here at Oak and Lamb. In addition to UV resin, we also teach education on our Cricut, so our die cut machines, whether that's the Joy, the Explore Series machine, Maker, or Venture. We have videos for all of that, and we have an amazing course for our members that teach you start to finish how to use your Cricut. So definitely check that out if you are an Oak and Lamb member. If you're not an Oak and Lamb member, become one. It will be very advantageous for you to do that if you're just starting out with Cricut specifically. But in addition to that, we also love to teach sublimation, woodworking, home decor, and laser cutting, so much more. Right now though, UV resin is at the top of our list. So many of our members are creating so many amazing projects with UV resin, whether that's tumblers, ink pens, jewelry, keychains, home decor, whatever. A lot of crafters are steering away from AB epoxy resin and going toward UV resin just because of how quickly it cures. Now, if you're doing large projects, you don't want to use UV resin. It is too expensive to use in large quantities like that. But for smaller projects, like I just mentioned, UV resin is where it's at. Our favorite resin here at Oak and Lamb is the J Diction UV resin. It is amazing. It's a hard UV resin, and you can get it in smaller bottles up to large bottles. It is very cost effective. We have tested out so many different resins, and this is our favorite time and time again, whether that is because of its durability, whether that is because of its dry time and its cure time, whether that is because of its less tendency to turn yellow than other UV resins. It's our pick. It's available on Amazon. It's in our storefront. Check it out if you're in the market for a UV resin. We have compared it so many different times. We have videos here you can check out for our comparison as well. But J Diction also has available some colored UV resin, so pigmented resins. Now, if you have worked with UV resin at all and have tried to put pigments in it, or alcohol inks, or not sprinkles, sparkles, glitter, then sometimes it really affects the flexibility of it, and you don't want it to be flexible. When it is cured, you want it to be hard and set and amazing. And so they've come out with some already tinted UV resins that set exactly like the other UV resins. Cure, every time I say set, cure, that's in there, okay? Anyway, so that's what we're going to be testing with today. I have 3 different colors out. I have the blue, the purple, and the green, and I'm going to be testing out which light is our favorite or the best for UV resin. We get these questions all the time. So I am going to be testing out just this UV light. It is available in our Amazon storefront. This is the type of light that we started out with. We use this for our tumbler turners. The drawback of this is that you have to hold it, right? So your tumbler turner is going. Thankfully, it cures pretty quickly. Sometimes you can erect some sort of little tower type thing, place it on the top, and then it will rotate, and so you don't have to hold it. And so that's nice. The pro to this is that it's about $25 in Amazon right now, so it's very affordable to purchase this and use it. We're also going to be testing out the Let's Resin 360 light. Now, they sent this to us, and we were a little bit leery about it just because, you know, you hear all about the best this and the latest upcoming this. And I was really, really excited when they did tell me about it, though, that it was 360. Here's why. If I'm adding anything to my resins like glitter or pigments, a lot of times, even if I'm using a clear silicone mold, the bottom does not cure well because the light is not coming from the bottom. So this eliminates that issue. You've got light from the bottom and the top, or you can just use one side or the other if you want to. So that's pretty cool. Now, what I was particularly unexcited about was the size of it. In my head, when they told me 360 light, it was going to be big enough to put a tumbler turner in so that the tumbler will get light the entire time it's turning, and it will cut down on the cure time for those. And so I'm hoping that they hear us and will create a larger 360 UV light so that it will expedite the cure time of those. But this Let's Resin is about $40 on Amazon right now. Now, prices are subject to change, so if you click on it, it's a different price, then that's why. But right now, it is $39.98. And then I'm also going to be using a nail light. We get lots of questions about whether or not you can use a nail light for curing UV resin. Absolutely, you can. Now, this is a C&D nail light. It's about $150. You do not have to have a special high-end nail light in order to cure UV resin with this. It just happens to be one that Anna had in her house. You can get nail lights from $20 all the way up to $200. Cool thing about them is that if you have it set that way, once you put it in there, it will stay. It has the timer, which is nice. You can remove this if you want to, hold it up if you want, set it on top so that you're not having to hold it the entire time. So there are some advantages there too. But if you already have that in your craft room, then use it. These are not all the UV lights that are available. These are just our favorites out of all the ones that we've tried. We have tried lots of different lights. We've tried boxed in lights, other lights that look similar to this. We've tried flashlights. Don't use a UV flashlight. The batteries in it don't last very long. You end up having to replace them over and over again. We learned that the hard way. But these are just the 3 that we're going to be testing out today. So let's take an overhead look at the table and the molds that we will be using with the resin today. These are little domino molds, and I wanted to make them as even as possible so that it was a level playing field here. It is a clear silicone mold, so it should receive light from every angle, which is really nice. And I have filled them almost to the top, every single one of them, so that we have, like I said, a fair assessment of what's going to work the best. So I'm going to put the pink one in our Let's Resin. I'm going to have to hold this one over my green one, and then I'll put the blue one in this, and we're going to cure for the exact same amount of time to begin with. Before I get started, the one thing that I don't love about this machine is that if these prongs on either side of these little wheels are not completely straight, if they're not in the exact right place, then it's difficult to get it to work in a 360 way. So if you don't see lights here at the top and the bottom, then it's not working 360. It's just working on the top or the bottom. So I wanted to point that out. Let me go ahead and place all of these in here. And we'll start out with 2 minutes on each one and kind of go for there. I think they're going to need a little bit extra just because it's so thick, but we'll see. I don't know. So we'll start out with 2 minutes. Okay, here's the green one that we used this UV light with, and it's hard on the top, but I can already tell. I don't even know if you can see it or not. It is not finished on the bottom. It is still liquidy. So that's to be expected since it didn't get any light from the bottom, and it was only 2 minutes. And then let's try out this one. Hard on the top. Let's see here. It has a little bit, it's kind of a little bit gummy on the bottom, but not bad. And then let's look at this one. Hard on the top. It's not gummy at all. So that one honestly is cured. The light, the nail light seems to have cured it the quickest. Let me throw these back in for a little bit longer and see. I might have to flip this one over, but it's so liquidy, like the resin is still coming out of it. So I don't know if you can tell that or not. There's so much that it's pulling up. In fact, I don't know that this one, from where I have moved it, is going to cure well. But let's go ahead and do another 2 minutes on this one. And then I'll try this one again. Okay, now let's take a look at these. This was with another 2 minutes. And it's now hard where I had lifted it right there. It messed up. So it's not the fault of the light by any means. It was my fault, but it is cured now. And then this one is still gummy on the underneath. So this light, not great for this type of thing. It might be okay for tumbler turners and things like that, but obviously the light coming from the bottom is very helpful. And I think, obviously this doesn't have a light in the bottom, but this might reflect the UV light. This is totally just an assumption. Maybe this reflects it, and that's why the bottom was so easily cured. But out of the two, the UV light, the nail light did the best. And then this one did great. It just needed a little bit extra time. This one still did not cure after another 2 minutes. So maybe don't grab that unless you're doing tumblers or something like that. And this one is a really decent light, especially for tumblers, because you can kind of set it like this so that you don't have to hold it, or even up on like a stack of something so that you wouldn't have to hold it or something like that. This one wouldn't be as easy to place in a way that would be conducive to tumbler turners. But there is our assessment of lights with UV resin. So let me know if you are a UV resin crafter, what kind of light or setup do you use? What have you used that you don't like? What have you used that you love? Let me know. If you know of an amazing light, we are always looking for the perfect light. I still don't feel like I have the perfect light, because my primary goal is to find one that will cure the entire time a tumbler turner is going. If you're not into tumblers and tumbler turners, then maybe you don't care about that, and that's totally fine, but that's just what I love here. So if you know of a company, if you are a company that has one that will work with that, please reach out to us. We would love to test it out. Let us know, followers, if you have any questions about any of this, by leaving a comment down below. If you liked this content, you'll love membership here at Oak and Lamb. I did mention earlier what we are about here, but I did not mention our fun coupon code that you can use. If you want to join our monthly tiered membership, which you can do, use the code FUN, F-U-N, at checkout and get your first month here for $9.99. It's $20 a month after that, and you can cancel at any time if Oak and Lamb is not a great fit for you. If you want even more of a discount, you can join our annual tier and get a larger discount by doing that. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you're not a subscriber to the YouTube channel, go ahead and click that button, and I will see you here another day for another video.